Hey everyone, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I thought I would show a few projects for Saturday Morning Makes. So happy weekend, and thank you to Jill Norwood who began the Saturday Morning Makes hashtag. And I love watching everyone's videos every week to see what you guys are up to. And you're always so inspiring. So I like to come on when I can to share my projects as well. So this week I've been working on a few Dianna Marcum projects. As you might know, I am an ambassador for AdornIt for their Dianna Marcum stamps. So I have been working on some, and there was a new drop recently of her Halloween stamps. So I have digital copies of them, but I know that there are polymer stamp copies being sent out as well. So I wanted to show you the ones that are available now on the AdornIt website that you can go ahead and order. I just have printouts of them right now. But there's this one, and they're all named differently. They're all available individually. Like this is one stamp set that you can get. And so this one's super cute. It's got all sorts of Halloween sayings. Some of them I know were originally released in woodblock stamps, and now they're available for polymer stamps. So that's great. So there's that one I haven't worked on yet. This is a set as well, and as you can see, I cut out one of them to use in this week's project, and I do a little like ink sampling on the edge of the paper usually when I'm figuring out what markers to use in there too. But this is another set that's like all witches. It's super cute. Comes with all these different stamps, which is awesome. And then there's this one, which this says, "If the broom fits, ride it." I love her witch graphics. They're just really, really cute. There's a little frog in a hat. So boos and hisses, super cute. So I won't go too much into detail on these, but this is another one. This one I started coloring with some colored pencils last week when my power went out. I needed to do something, so I just did that. And I think they came out really cute. Just haven't used them in a project yet, but I love cats and black cats too. So I colored this one like my cat Gus, who you might have heard or seen in some of my videos, and I have a black cat Holly, and I have a gray cat whose name is Willow. So they're all represented. And then there's this one too that's all like a pumpkin theme one. Also really, really cute. I just can't wait to color all of these up. And I printed this out actually in 2 sizes, so that's why there are 2 of them. And then there's this one too. I know this is a woodblock stamp, I'm pretty sure. Halloween greetings from one of your creepy friends. There's a cute border. So really cute. And then there was this one. This one's my favorite. So I colored this one up right away. I did post this one on Instagram last week in case you saw it there. So there's that. But yeah, this one I used one of the stamps from that set that I showed you that I cut out already. And I'll show you, actually I made 2 projects, but I'll show you the things I used for the first project first, and then we'll go through the second one. So for the first project, I used a few of the Luna collection by Prima and Frank Garcia. A few of the items, I used one of the enamel charms, and I used the pumpkin in this color, this pretty like yellowy, peachy pumpkin color. I used this die set. Whoops, it's kind of open on the side. This is from Penny Black, and this is called Zigzag Stackers. And I love to use this to cut out a just like a card front. I used a garment pin. I think I'd gotten these from In Love Art Shop when I was on their design team a while back. So I used this to attach a charm. I used a black one. And like I said, I used Luna from Frank Garcia, so I used some papers from here. This is such a pretty collection, and that this color pumpkin actually matches really well, so that's why I used it. I used a few different alcohol markers. Just want to show you what I used, and these are different brands. Spectrum Noir, this one's Prismacolor from Hobby Lobby, and then a couple. These both Firefly? No, one Master's Touch and one Firefly. So I will, mix and match depending on what colors I need. So that's what I used for this project. And then I also used a little bit of this mesh that I got at Joann's last year. A lot of us got this mesh. It's just really nice and pliable. It's black mesh with some silver trim on it. So let me show you my project. I made a cute little tag. So this is it. And this is the stamp that I used, the digital stamp from that Dianna Marcum Halloween set. And I just love it because it's got the little cat in there. Of course, I colored it black. And then there's a bag that says witch kit, body and broom not included. So I thought that was adorable. So I colored this up in those colors that I showed you. And then, did I show a pink one? Yeah, pink tint, okay. And then I fussy cut around it, which was not that hard to do. And then I used some of the Frank Garcia. I used one of the cut aparts from the Luna collection for the tag itself, and it says trick or treat on it. And then I backed it with, this is some glitter paper from Sizzix, and it comes in a pack of like different textures of the same color. So that's what I use, this glittery one for that. It's like a nice, like dark gray, black glitter. So perfect if you want, you know, kind of like a black glitter, but not quite as stark, something a little bit softer. So I thought that would go nice with this. And then I used a pink 110-pound paper I have in my stash, and I used a, let me show you, a deckled edge scissor to cut the edges. And this is from Fiskars. I've had this for a long time. And then I tied the top. Well, first I cut a hole or punched a hole with my crocodile and added a white eyelet. And then I cut a strip of that mesh and tied it through there, and then added the garment pin with the little orange pumpkin just to add a little accent to it. So I think that came out really, really cute. I'm going to add this to a little Halloween gift bag. And yeah, that's it. I hope you like it. That's my first project. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'll show you my second project. All right, so these are all of the products that I use for my second project, and these are also Dianna Marcum stamps. This one obviously is a polymer stamp, and this was from the Recipe Club, and this is the pumpkin bars one. So I have used this in projects before, but I wanted to use it again just because I love Dianna's recipe stamps, and I just, you know, wanted to make something else with it. So I used this stamp, the pumpkin bars, and to stamp it out, I used VersaFine Claire in the Nocturne color. This is black pigment ink, so this is good to use if you want to do some watercoloring, which I did. And by the way, I used this stamp cleaner to clean my stamp off when I was done inking it, and I told you guys I was going to tell you how I liked it. I bought this at Hobby Lobby, and I wanted to try this because baby wipes would not get VersaFine off the polymer stamp, and this worked really, really well. So in case you're looking for it, it's $5.99 in the like stamps area at Hobby Lobby. So that worked very well. So I used those. And then I used this stamp from Impression Obsession. It is die 202.G, and these are little pumpkins. So I needed just one little pumpkin, and I figured if I stamped these out, I would find one the perfect size, which I did. So I was so glad to have this. I wasn't sure if I had a small pumpkin die in my stash, and I looked through, and sure enough, I did. And then this die set I just got recently at Tuesday Morning, and I used the like spatula die. So that was the perfect size. I used this ink pad to do a little ink blending on the edge of the card, and this is Cookie Dough by from Ranger and Simon Hurley. It's a really nice like light tan color. Okay, moving on, I used some watercolor paper that I got at Michael's. This is cold press watercolor paper. It's a really nice texture, and it's a creamy white, and I have had good luck with this paper pad, and it's by Artist Loft. And then I used this collection for a few of the papers. This is a new one from Echo Park. It's called Spooky, and it's got really pretty like orange papers. I like the tone of orange here. It's just a little bit softer than a, you know, like a bright orange. So I used a couple of the oranges in that paper pack. I also used this one, the white with the stars. And then for watercoloring, I used these watercolor pencils that AdornIt sent me as part of my ambassador package. And I haven't been doing much watercoloring lately. I just usually gravitate towards alcohol markers, but I wanted to try some watercoloring for the pumpkin bars stamp because I think that looks nice when you're doing a recipe stamp. So let me show you what I made. I'll just move some of these over. Okay, so I made a card with this stamp. And isn't that cute? I think it came out really, really nice. Again, I did use the watercolor pencils and the textured watercolor paper. And the way, when I stamped it, I kind of pressed a little bit too hard on this part, on the P and the K and the I and the N for a pumpkin, but I left it because I think it just adds to the homey look of it. So that's perfectly good for me. I don't expect perfection of myself. If you watch my channel, you know that. So then for the leaf, I made it different shades of red and orange and browns for the stump. And then for the stem, I colored it with some watercolor pencil, but then I didn't use any water on top of it because I didn't want it to like bleed outside. And then I fussy cut everything around, but I left in this part of the white paper just because I couldn't really get in there. So I thought with the background paper, that was the same color. It blended in fine and you didn't really notice it. So the recipe, if you notice, it says 1 stick of oleo, but I think Diana said that's the same thing as margarine. So I would probably use butter. I always use butter when I make recipes, so hopefully that would come out okay. Haven't made them yet. And then here's that spatula from the Spellbinder set and the little pumpkin that I cut out from the IO die. And I did add a couple stripes of, this is yellow ochre alcohol marker, and then a brown one too, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And there, this star paper, that's where I used the penny black stamp, or sorry, die to cut that out, and the cookie dough ink on the edges of that. And then this is the Echo Park paper on the for the card base. I didn't do anything on the inside yet, but I will get to that. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use this card, if it's going to be a thank you card or a birthday card or just because card. So I figured I would just leave it blank for now. So yeah, those are my 2 projects. I hope you like them. I will link the stamps that I used down below. If you have any questions about anything else, where to get it, just let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. So that's it for today. I'm looking forward to going to see what everyone else is making. I'll leave Jill's channel down below just in case you want a link to it, and I'll be back soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.